This season for the Orlando Magic has not been going so bright. Majority of us had thought they would be a top 5 team in the Eastern Conference, but at the time of this recording, they are the number 9 seed with 40 wins and 36 losses. So in today's video, I've decided to rebuild the Magic into true championship contenders. A huge problem the Magic face with their offense is being one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the league. So hopefully that is something we could change in the offseason, pull off trades and bring in some better shooters, but as of right now, this here will be our rotation. So in the starting lineup, we have Jalen Suggs, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Wendell Carter Jr. And then off the bench, we have Anthony Black, Tristan Da Silva, Goga, Jet Howard, and Noah Penda. At the end of this season, Luka Doncic goes on to win his first ever MVP, Cooper Flag Rookie of the Year, Hami Hawk has 6-man, Victor Wembanyama Defensive Player Buzelis wins Most Improved, Desmond Bane goes on to win Clutch Player of the Year, let's go, Mark wins Coach of the Year, the OKC Thunder also win Executive. And now let's see if we have ourselves any All-NBA selections, which I don't think we will, and never mind, we do land ourselves Paulo Banchero on an All-NBA third team. What about an All-Defensive team? We do not get anyone here, and we ended this season being the number 10 seed, and that means we are in the play-in tournament taking on the Charlotte Hornets. We will have to win 2 games in the play-in tournament in order for us to make the playoffs, so let's see if we'll be able to do so. The Hornets have themselves LaMelo Ball, Brendan Miller, Con Kneppel, Bridges, and Ryan Kalkbrenner in their starting lineup. Let's jump into Simcast here and see what happens. The Hornets will have home court advantage, and so far we do have the lead. Can we keep it as a question? And yes, we can. We go on to win 120 to 111. Paulo had himself a 39-point double-double, 18 from Bane and 16 from Wagner. And now we're going to have to defeat the Philadelphia 76ers in order for us to take on the Detroit Pistons in the playoffs. Let's jump into Simcast here and see what happens. The 76ers do have home court advantage. And so far they do have the lead, and it looks like we are going to be eliminated here in the play-in tournament to the Philadelphia 76ers. Franz Wagner had 22, 20 from Bane, and 12 from Jalen Suggs. And honestly, us not making the playoffs may work out in our favor. If we end up with a lottery pick, that will be pretty huge for our team. So let's go ahead and simulate the playoffs and see which team goes on to win. It looks like in the NBA Finals, Anthony Edwards wins Western Conference Finals MVP, Cade Cunningham Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and the Minnesota Timberwolves go on to win with Ant-Man winning Finals MVP. Before we go into the offseason, I would really appreciate it if y'all could drop a thumbs up on this video and subscribe if you haven't already. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of April, so please make sure you hit that subscribe button. It looks like the Memphis Grizzlies own our lottery pick, so us ending up with a lottery pick does not benefit our team whatsoever. And it looks like, yeah, it does go to the Memphis Grizzlies at pick number 12. We are definitely going to be pulling off trades this offseason, upgrading some positions, but what we're going to do is wait until free agency, allow some players to get signed and the team player options to get picked up, and then we should have some more options to trade. And in team player options, we are of course going to pick up the team option on Anthony Black, Tristan Da Silva, and Jet Howard. I'm not sure if there's anyone we need to re-sign, and it looks like there isn't, so majority or all of our players are locked up on long-term contracts. Mo Wagner, I don't really want to bring him back on this team, so we will not be re-signing him. In free agency, we do have some money to play with, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and sign Ayo Dosunmu, who this past season was shooting 43% from the 3-point line and 52% from the field. He could be our 6-man, provide us with 3-point shooting off the bench unit. So I'm going to go ahead and offer him a 4-year deal where we pay him about $4 million annually. It looks like he will be accepting on a 4-year, $17 million contract. Julian Champagnie is currently a free agent. He is a good 3-point shooter. He's also a good perimeter defender, so I'm going to go ahead and offer him a 2-year deal where we pay him about $3 million. Hopefully we do have enough money to sign both Ayo Dosunmu and Julian Champagnie, and it looks like we don't have enough money to sign Champagnie, sadly. But we do have enough money to sign ourselves Harrison Barnes as a brand new backup power forward on a 2-year, $5 million contract. He's also a really good 3-point shooter, should be able to help our team with floor spacing, and I did also offer Josh Minnow a contract, which he goes on to accept on a 2-year, $4.8 million contract. He has himself a 3-point shot, B- perimeter defense. He's only 23 years old, which means he may end up progressing this offseason, which I hope he does. The first trade of this offseason will be with the Miami Heat, where we send them Wendell Carter Jr. and Jet Howard, and we bring in a floor spacing big man in Kel'el Ware, who this past season was shooting 38% from the 3-point line. Having him in our starting lineup will definitely help with the floor spacing, and we also land ourselves Davion Mitchell, so let's go ahead and pull off this trade. We are here talking with the Houston Rockets for Reed Sheppard, who I would like to be our brand new starting point guard. He's an elite 3-point shooter, he's a good defender, and could be the perfect starting point guard we need on this team. Jalen Suggs has been a pretty inconsistent 3-point shooter throughout his career. He's a 32% career 3-point shooter, so I'm going to be offering the Houston Rockets Jalen Suggs and Josh Minot for Reed Sheppard, Clint Capella, and Dorian Finney-Smith. They do give us a counteroffer. They want Harrison Barnes and a first-round pick in return. They give us a very valuable first-round pick, so let's go ahead and pull off this trade. We are able to extend Anthony Black on a contract extension. He is on an expiring contract, so we will be going ahead and extending him for the next 4 seasons. Let's try and lower the money down just a little bit. Let's see if we can get that down to $18.5 million annually. It looks like he will be accepting the contract. Here we are at the start of this season with a new and upgraded 9-man rotation. So in our starting lineup, we're now going to have ourselves Reed Sheppard, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, Apollo Banchero, and Kel'el Ware. And then off the bench, we have ourselves Anthony Black, Ayo Dosunmu, Clint Capella, and Tristan da Silva. Our 3-point shooting should definitely be a lot better than it has been the last few seasons. If you're wondering why we're starting Reed Sheppard over Anthony Black, it's pretty simple. It's because of the 3-point shooting Reed Sheppard provides. But now let's go ahead and simulate the first few games of this season to see how we do. The first game is up against the Milwaukee Bucks, and we go on to defeat them 133-124. Paulo Banchero had 36, 25 from Wagner, 17 from Bane, and 17 from Kel'el Ware in his Magic debut. Let's see if we can also go on to defeat the next 2 teams, the Pacers and the Houston Rockets, and yes, we can. We score 145 points here against the Houston Rockets, where Franz Wagner dropped 36 points, a 25-point double-double from Banchero, 22 from Bane, and 18 from Anthony Black. And to start out this season, we are rolling with a 4-star overall system proficiency balanced under Jamal Mosley. And now we're going to start simulating here until the end of this season, but if there's any trades we need to pull off, I'll stop at the trade deadline to show you all. Our team has made it to the NBA Cup Finals, and we're going to be taking on the New Orleans Pelicans, and it looks like we go on to win with Paulo Banchero winning NBA Cup MVP. We won here 117-91, where Anthony Black led the way, dropping 21 points. Kel'el Ware had 17 points and 16 rebounds. At the end of this season, Cade Cunningham goes on to win an MVP, Darren Peterson Rookie of the Year, Jeremiah Fears wins 6-man, Wemby Defensive Player, Risa Shea Most Improved, Tyrese Halliburton wins Clutch Player, Jamal Mosley, our head coach, wins Coach of the Year, and we also go on to win Executive of the Year. Let's see if we have ourselves any All-NBA selections. We do land Paulo Banchero on an All-NBA second team. It looks like that will be it for all NBA teams. Do we get anyone here on an all defensive team? And yes, we do. We land ourselves Kel'el Ware on an all defensive second team. We ended this season as the number 1 seed, winning a total of 75 games and losing only 7. Our team was absolutely unstoppable. Hopefully we're able to continue the regular season success into the playoffs, but before that, let's go ahead and take a look at our player stats. So the leading scorer on our team was none other than Paulo Banchero, averaging nearly 27 points per game with 8.5 rebounds on 57% from the field and nearly 40% from the 3-point line. 23 points per game from Wagner, 18 from Desmond Bane, 13.5 from Reed Sheppard, and 13 from Anthony Black. Kel'el Ware was phenomenal as well, averaging 12 points per game, 11 rebounds. He did kind of struggle shooting from the 3-point line, but I mean, there were moments he did shoot the ball really well as well. I mean, he did shoot a lot better than Wendell Carter Jr., and that's all that really matters. And now in the first round of the playoffs, we will be taking on the Boston Celtics, who have themselves Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Hugo, Jason Tatum, and Neemias Queta, as well as Peyton Pritchard as their 6-man. And as you guys can see, our 3-point shooting has improved a ton. We were the 7th best 3-point shooting team, making about 13 3-pointers a game, and we were also the best defensive team, allowing only 108 points per game. And now let's see how we do here in the playoffs. Game number 1 will go to us. Reed Sheppard leads the way here with 21 points, Wagner with 21, and 20 from Desmond Bane, 17 from Banchero. Game number 2 also goes to us. This time, Banchero leads the way with 33 points, 30 from Desmond Bane. We also win game 3, and yes, we can. Holy, Banchero dropping 46 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists, 18 from Wagner. And are we going to sweep the Boston Celtics? And yes, we do. Okay, so Banchero had himself 38 points here in game 4, 28 from Wagner, and 21 from Desmond Bane. And now we have made it to the second round of the playoffs, and we're going to be taking on the New York Knicks. But before that, let's see how Banchero has been doing, and he's playing phenomenal, averaging 33 points per game. Franz Wagner's averaging 20, 22 from Desmond Bane. Whoa, Reed Sheppard has been struggling big time. He's only averaging 5 points per game on 15% from the three-point line. If he continues playing like that, we may have to change him for Anthony Black in our starting lineup. Well, let's take a look at the New York Knicks roster. So they have themselves Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns. So the Knicks have not made any changes to their roster at all. Let's see how things go here in the second round. Game number 1 will go to us. Banchero with 32, 28 from Franz Wagner, and Reed Sheppard continues struggling, only shooting 1 of 4, but at least we still won that game. Game number 2 will go to the New York Knicks. They win here by 3 points. Banchero had 24 and 11, 23 from Wagner. And where is Reed Sheppard? Okay, this game he played a lot better, making 16 points, 3 out of 5 of his three-pointers made. Now the series is tied at 1-1 apiece, so let's see if we can win game 3, and it looks like the New York Knicks go on to win game 3, 112 to 107. Desmond Bane had 26, 22 from Wagner. Reed Sheppard has started to play well, but as soon as he started playing well, we're now losing games sadly. Banchero had himself 14, he did foul out. Hopefully we're able to win this game, otherwise we will be going down 3-1. And so far, it is a close back and forth battle. The Knicks have the lead, and of course, they go on to win, going up 3-1. They won by 1 single point. Banchero had 20, 19, and 10 from Banchero. Well, I meant to say Wagner had 20, but I'm going to come up with a defensive coach game plan, maybe change up some player shot tendencies as well. Alrighty, we have come up with the defensive coach game plan, and Anthony Black will be starting as our starting point guard. Since Reed Sheppard has been struggling, I have pushed him to the 6-man role. Let's see if that's going to help us win these next few games. We will have home court advantage for game 5. So far, the Knicks do have the lead, and we come back and end up winning 126 to 116. Desmond Bane with 24, Banchero with a 22-point triple-double, and 20 from Franz Wagner. We do have to win one more game to top the series. Let's see if we can do so here in game 6, where the Knicks will have home court advantage. And so far, it is a close battle, but we have the lead and they take it. They are up by 6 points, 150 remaining. Can we come back? And it looks like they are starting to run away with it. And sadly, we are eliminated here to the New York Knicks. Franz Wagner had 25, Banchero only had 16, and 14 from Reed Sheppard. So clearly our team is still not championship contenders, which means this offseason we're going to have to make some more moves and additions to make our team better for next playoffs. Let's go ahead and simulate past the playoffs and see who goes on to win. Anthony Edwards, Western Conference Finals MVP, Cade Cunningham, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, and it is a rematch of last year's NBA Finals. The Timberwolves go on to win, with Anthony Edwards winning Finals MVP once again. And here are the player stats in case you guys were wondering. We played a total of 10 games in the playoffs, and the leading scorer was Paolo Banchero, averaging 26 points per game, 22 from Franz Wagner, 20 from Bane, and 10 from Anthony Black. We only had 4 players in double-digit scoring. It looks like we may end up with a lottery pick via the Brooklyn Nets. It is projected with a 6-bet odds. Let's go ahead and skip to lottery results and see where that ends up. It does end up as a 7th overall pick. Okay, so that is something we could use here in a trade this offseason. It should have value. We could add that with a player and go get ourselves some better players to make us championship contenders. I would like to upgrade our head coach position, so we're going to go ahead and fire Jamal Mosley and try bring in someone else. I'm going to go ahead and offer Joe Mazzulla a contract. I'm going to offer a bunch of coaches the contract, and we'll see which one accepts. We'll also offer Jason Kidd one. We land ourselves Nick Nurse as our brand new head coach, which is definitely an upgrade from Jamal Mosley. I was trying to package our 7th overall pick in some players, but the trades we are getting back in return is not all that great, so what we're going to be doing is drafting ourselves a rookie that we could use in a trade, and he should have himself a higher trade value than the 7th overall pick. Alrighty, now it is time for the 2027 NBA draft. Let's see the top 3 picks. The Washington Wizards have the 1st overall pick, and they go ahead and take Tyrone Stokes. The 2nd overall pick, the Miami Heat have, and they take Christian Collins. The 3rd overall pick, the Utah Jazz take Cameron Williams. Now let's simulate to our pick and see which players we could select here. It looks like there is some decent options, but not many. Majority of the top 5 players have been selected. And I was taking a look at these players' ceilings, so this dude here has himself a ceiling of an all-star, whereas Anthony Thompson has a ceiling of an all-NBA player, Alex English. So what we're going to do is go ahead and draft Anthony Thomas, and hopefully he has himself a high trade value. We do also have ourselves a 30th overall pick. I'm going to go ahead and draft this dude here, Abraham Maker, and that will be it for the 2027 NBA draft. For team player options, of course, we are going to pick up the team option on Kel'el Ware, Reed Shepherd, Tristan Da Silva, Noah Penda, and Jace Richardson. Dorian Finney-Smith, we can let walk. We don't need his $13 million on our books. Qualifying offers, it doesn't look like we have to re-sign anybody here in free agency. So we do have a little bit of money here to play with in free agency, and it looks like we could sign ourselves Josh Hart. This is pretty huge. I'm going to go ahead and offer him a 4-year deal, paying him about $4.5 million annually. Let's see if we could sign ourselves a big man as well. So in free agency, as of right now, we sign ourselves Josh Hart on a 4-year, $19 million contract, and I also signed Robert Williams III on a minimum to be our brand new backup center. We are going to be pulling off a massive trade here with the Indiana Pacers, where we send them Anthony Black, Clint Capella, and Anthony Thompson. In return, we bring in a new starting center in Ivica Zubac, who's basically a double-double guy. He's a really good defender. We also get Andrew Nembhard, who this past season was shooting 43% from the three-point line. He's a good playmaker and a really good perimeter defender. So let's go ahead and pull off this trade. The next trade we're going to be pulling off is with the Dallas Mavericks, where we send them Ayo Dosunmu and Abraham Maker. In return, we bring in Max Christie, who's an elite 3-point shooter, and he's a good perimeter defender as well. This past season, he was shooting 42% from the 3-point line. Looks like the Dallas Mavericks do go on to accept the trade. Here we are at the start of this season with a new and upgraded 9-man rotation. There was a lot of progression from the younger players, like Reed Shepherd has gone up to 85 overall, 86 for Kel'el Ware, and an 85 from Nembhard. So hopefully that helps our team win a lot more games as well. In our starting lineup, we're now going to have ourselves Andrew Nembhard, Desmond Bane, Franz Wagner, Paulo Banchero, and Ivica Zubac. And then off the bench, we have Reed Shepherd, Kel'el Ware, Josh Hart, and Max Christie. Let's go ahead and simulate the first few games of this season to see how we do. We do have 4 games in the first week, so let's go ahead and simulate past all of them, and we go on to win all 4 out of the 4 games, scoring 141 points here against the Toronto Raptors, where Banchero went off for 43 points, 26 from Wagner, and 25 from Desmond Bane. Something we have this season, which we did not have the seasons prior, is a playmaking point guard. Andrew Nembhard averages about 8 assists per game per 36 minutes, whereas last season we had Reed Shepherd averaging 4 assists per game, and Anthony Black, who is not the best playmaker either. So Andrew Nembhard should make our offense a lot easier for the rest of this team. We are going to be rolling with a 4.5-star overall system proficiency, balanced under our brand new head coach, Nick Nurse. Now I'm going to start simulating here until the end of this season, but of course if there's any trades to be made, which I highly doubt, I will stop at the trade deadline to show you all. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama goes on to win an MVP. Paulo Banchero was in the word races to winning MVP, right behind Victor Wembanyama, but sadly he was not able to win it. Mark Sears wins Rookie of the Year, LaMelo Ball. Whoa, they have LaMelo Ball as a 6th man. That is insane. Victor Wembanyama also wins Defensive Player, Tyrese Proctor Most Improved. Clutch Player goes to Anthony Edwards. Our head coach, Nick Nurse, goes on to win Coach of the Year, and we also win Executive. Now let's see if we get ourselves any All-NBA selections, and it looks like Paulo Banchero does make it on an All-NBA first team. Will we have any more awards? And it looks like we do not, and we don't get anyone on an all-defensive team either, but that is alright because we ended this season as the #1 seed, winning a total of 72 games and losing only 10. We did lose a few more games in the season prior, but I do feel like our team was a lot better than before. Here are the player stats for the regular season. So Paolo Banchero was averaging nearly 29 points per game, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. 22.5 from Franz Wagner, 19 from Bane, 14 from Reed Shepard, 12 from Kel'el Ware, and 12 from Andrew Nembhard. Zubac was amazing as well, averaging a 10-point double-double. And now in the first round of the playoffs, we are going to be taking on the Chicago Bulls, who have themselves Josh Giddey, RJ Barrett, Nate, Jeremy Sohan, and Mark Williams. And they have Matej Buzelis coming off the bench. For Jeremy Sohan, that is pretty insane. But let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us. Banchero dropping 35, 26 from Bane, and 24 from Wagner. We also go on to win game 2, Wagner with 29, 26 from Banchero, and 22 from Bane. And holy, Josh Hart with a 20-point double-double in 21 minutes. Let's go. Game number 3, we also go on to win. Banchero drops 28 points, and can we sweep the Chicago Bulls? Yes, we can, making it to the second round of the playoffs. So far, Banchero is averaging 30 points per game, Wagner is averaging 20, and 22 from Desmond Bane. In the second round of the playoffs, we are going to be taking on the New York Knicks, the same team that eliminated us last year, but it looks like we have their player Josh Hart, and now their starting lineup is Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Miles Bridges, and Karl Anthony Towns. Let's see how things go here. Game number 1 will go to us. Desmond Bane dropping 33 points, 25 from Wagner. We also go on to win game 2. We win game 3, and in game 3, Banchero had 27 points and 20 from Reed Shepard. Let's see if we can also go on to sweep the New York Knicks, and we do not sweep them, but can we, gentlemen, sweep them? Yes, we can. In game 5, Wagner dropped 32 points, Banchero with a 26-point double-double. We have now made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, where we will be taking on the Atlanta Hawks, who have themselves Javon Small, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Zachary Risacher, Jalen Johnson, and Okongwu. They also have Dyson Daniels coming off their bench and Cameron Boozer. Okay, so this team is pretty stacked. They were the number 2 seed. How many games did they win? They won a total of 63 games, losing only 19. Hopefully we are able to defeat them here in the conference finals. Game number 1 does go to us. Wagner drops 36 points, 26 from Bane. Game number 2 will also go to us. Wagner leading the way once again, this time dropping 33 points in only 28 minutes, 32 from Paolo Banchero. We also go on to win game 3. Let's go. Banchero leading the way here with 34 points, 27 from Wagner, and a 17-point double-double from Zubac, who has been playing phenomenal here in the playoffs. And all we gotta do now is win one more game, and then we'll be going to the NBA Finals. We do not sweep the Hawks, but we do go on a gentleman sweep them, winning here in game 5, where Banchero had himself a 34-point double-double, 22 from Bane, and 20 from Wagner. It looks like we're either going to be taking on the Phoenix Suns or the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm not sure how the Pelicans made it this far, but they did. And it will be the Phoenix Suns who we're going to be taking on, with Devin Booker winning Western Conference Finals MVP, Paolo Banchero Eastern Conference Finals MVP. Let's take a look at the Phoenix Suns roster before we start facing them here in the NBA Finals. They have themselves Jalen Green, Devin Booker, Dylan Brooks, Rasheer Fleming, and Kamon Maldowash. They also have Derek Lively II coming off their bench, Kevin Porter Jr., Santi Aldama, and Grayson Allen. A pretty stacked team. Every player on their team is basically an 80 overall or higher. Game number 1 will go to the Phoenix Suns. Okay, so they go on to win here 117-112. Game number 2 does end up going to us. We win here 145-106. Wagner with 31 and 31 from Banchero. The series is now tied at 1-1 apiece. Let's see if we can go up 2-1, and yes, we can. Banchero dropping 24 points. We won here by 5. Game number 4 also goes to us, and now we are up 3-1. And holy, we only won this game by 1 single point, 141-140. Wagner had 24 from Banchero. Every game up against the Suns has been a close game. We haven't really blown them out yet. Let's see if we could do so here in game 5, where we do have home court advantage. So far we do have the lead, and it looks like it will be a blowout. Well, kind of a blowout. We do go on to win 145-133. They were pushing back there in the 4th quarter, but other than that, we were dominating them. Banchero dropped 35 points, 29 from Wagner, and 20 from Zubac. Let's see which one of the players goes on to win Finals MVP, and just like that, we have won the Orlando Magic a championship with Paolo Banchero winning Finals MVP. Averaging 27 points per game, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1.5 block while shooting 65% from the field. And that is a perfect way to end out a video, winning the Orlando Magic a championship. But before we end out this video, let's take a look at the player stats. So in the playoffs, we played a total of 19 games. And in those 19 games, the leading scorer was none other than Paolo Banchero, averaging 27 points per game. 24 from Wagner, 20 from Desmond Bane, 13 from Zubac, 12 from Nembhard, and 12 from Kel'el Ware. Andrew Nembhard was a perfect point guard we needed on this team. His playmaking, 3-point shooting has been phenomenal. In the NBA Finals, we played a total of 5 games, and in those 5 games, the leading scorer once again was Paolo Banchero, averaging nearly 27 points per game, 24.5 from Franz Wagner, 16 from Bane, and 13 from Andrew Nembhard. And now that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button and also subscribe if you're new for more NBA 2K26 rebuilds. Click here on the screen to watch my latest upload. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.